The biggest mistake in networking is over-preparing, so you never start it. As international students, especially those from non-English speaking countries, many delay their actions because they think their language isn't good enough for networking. It is not an abilities problem, it's a mindset problem. I heavily recommend watching this TED video. I love her Omega and hot dog stories. They are so interesting and inspiring. To quote her opinion, language is not an art to be mastered. It's just a tool to achieve a result. I have rich experience from being a beginner to being confident in communication. After this networking series, I will show you more insights about language learning. But now let's keep it simple. Communication consists of two parts, listening and speaking. In the beginning, you could listen more and speak less. For listening, you don't need to understand 100%. If someone talks with you with a long sentence, but you only catch one keyword, you just say something about it. But if unfortunately you can't get anything, I always doing is say, "Oh, so interesting," and change our topic. And it always works. For speaking, most of the time we just repeatedly introduce ourselves and talk about very basic topics. For example, where you come from, where you study, which major, what's your plan after graduation. So preparing a few short responses for this common topic is enough. I think it's even easier than IELTS speaking test. For IT students, there is another form of over-preparing. They always want to achieve a particular tech skill level before networking. In my experience, it's also unnecessary. When I started networking last March, my tech skill were limited to using Python to write for loops and while loops. They are kindergarten level skills. Networking is not a tech interview. No one will give you a tech questions to test your level. Keep learning is our daily work, but don't let it to be an excuse to stop networking. The second mistake is waste time on your own friends at networking events. Many people like to attend events with friends. It is a good choice to explore new settings because you could support each other. But when you arrive there, please split to have conversations with strangers and build new connections. Time is limited. You should maximize your opportunities on networking events. Let me show you an interesting story. Last month, I attended a networking event and met a friend. He knew I have already found a good job, so he asked me why I still attending. I told him I come here to accompany my schoolmates who want to network. But the true reason is free pizza and beer. Yeah. He asked, "Where is your schoolmates?" I pointed and found these three ladies. They sit at the same table and talk among themselves. So my friend said, "You should push them to talk with others." I said, "I don't want to be so bossy." And he said, "But they are wasting time." Fine, as a sustainable minimalist, I hate waste. So I went to the ladies and asked them reasons. They said, because we are introverts. Suddenly, I have a good idea. I introduced them to talk with my friend. So when I finished my free dinner and later, I found these three ladies still gathered around my friend. I don't know why every time I recall this sense, I found it so interesting. But you know what? My friend told me a guy joined their conversation and his company needed interns. Surprise! It was their lucky day. I share this with you. Just wanted to tell you that we are human. We enjoy staying with familiar face. However, you attend the events to explore new opportunities, gather new information, expand your network. If you stick with your old friends, you wouldn't discover anything new. The third mistake is sticking with one person the whole time. I learned it from my first real networking event. It was in middle March 2023 at an event hosted by Study Adelaide. I had attended their job-seeking workshops before, so I thought it was another workshop about networking. But when I arrived there, I realized it wasn't a drill, it was a real thing. But I had zero experience, I had no preparation, so I just stood there and doing nothing. A professional approached me and started a friendly conversation. Although I only understood a quarter of what he said, I stayed, he said, not moving at all. Eventually, he told me to talk with others. Though he said it politely, I felt nervous and upset about my mistake. Afterwards, I watched a lot of videos and read books about networking. I found it is a common mistake for beginners. If you enter a new environment, of course you feel nervous. If someone smiles at you or say hello with you, you will feel this person is your best friend in that room. You naturally want to stick with them, just like holding on to a piece of wood in the sea. But if you stick with someone, you may make them feel uncomfortable, and they also want to connect with someone else. You are taking up their time. So a professional networking strategy should be join a conversation, introduce yourself, shake hands, connect on LinkedIn, and say goodbye. Does that sound difficult? Don't worry, I will show you how to do it step by step in upcoming episodes. The last and the most important point is don't be too hard on yourself. If you attended an event, whether you do well or not, you are brave, proactive, and driven. You should give a big smile to yourself and say, well done. But I feel you. Most of the time, I get nothing from networking event and I blame myself wasting time. However, I learned how to encourage myself. For example, when I tried my best to talk with others, but I didn't get any useful information, I reminded myself, in the past, I paid for the chance to practice English, but now I have a good chance to practice and it's free. If I attended an event but I didn't dare to talk to anyone, I told myself at least you get a free meal. Most of the networking event is free and over food, and if they have free beer, it is Christmas. Just focus on your progress and keep attending. Maybe it is hard to find the difference between weeks, but if you keep practicing, you will master these networking skills quickly. In the next episode, I will show you how to network like an expert.